He'll be here.
Because I can't
He'll be
wait to
here.
see his face.
Yeah. Okay, we are live.
So the link that Dean sent me, I watched half of it and then I just skipped the other half to the end. I'm like, I want to see what Jason's reaction was to you, Paul, saying that I was coming on, and his reaction was priceless.
Yeah. Well, by the way, you just told the whole world that because we're live. All right, so we're live today. I'm actually in Iowa, sitting in a IV Marshalltown booth, and we've got Paul up next to me, still from Jacksonville. Jack, have you rebuilt Jacksonville from the floods yet and the hurricane?
Well, once again, Jacksonville is like a cat when it comes to hurricanes. We have 9 lives. It really kind of skirted right around us.
Okay. Jason will be joining us shortly, as he always does. He'll be in Omaha, and we got Jasemine Bybee as our special guest today.
Jazzy.
She's got some exciting story for us today, and we're enthusiastically glad to have her on. And I don't know whether she can say her location if she would like to.
I'm in Coon Rapids, Iowa.
All right.
Small town.
Okay. All right. Paul, take away our sponsor real quick. And
yeah, absolutely. So everybody, our show and all of our shows are, brought to you through the generosity of Terry and her Scentsy page. The link is there at the bottom of the screen. Right now she's got a great deal going with a whiff box. What that is it's a conglomeration of different products. Certainly she's got that post out there on her regular Facebook page. Included in this is a Grogu buddy clip. That's the little baby Yoda guy. Cinnamon and clove scent circle, farm stand pumpkin scent pack, sips of cider bar, apple and cinnamon sticks counter cleaner, cinnamon buttercream bar, maple rum cake bar, and a sample wax cup. So if you were to buy all these pieces individually, you'd spend upwards of $58-$60. The whiff box is $30. So you get all of that in one whiff box, $30. They make fantastic gifts. The holidays are coming. Even if you wanted to get something like this, then you can break it out as stocking stuffers. So these are great opportunities to save you money, buy from a fellow Hawkeye fan, and to save you money on stuff that you're probably going to buy something very similar product-wise anyway. So as always, visit Terry's Scentsy link there and check out the amazing fall Christmas whiff box that's out there running through the month of October.
You done, Paul?
That's that.
Okay, all right. I got Jasemine right here. I met her through. It's kind of weird how it came about. Either Paul or Jason copied a tweet that she put out about how enthusiastically, or maybe it was a Facebook post, how enthusiastically she and how much fun she had got to see her first Iowa Hawkeye football games in person. And she got to see 2 of them back to back this year. And she seemed like a lot of fun. And I told Paul, I think we got to get her on the show. And so here she is. And Jasemine, why don't you talk a little bit about how you got those tickets and how they came about?
So how the Cyhawk game came about was I had posted a tweet on Twitter saying that I hope to go to a Hawkeye game someday in my life, whether it was now or then, or now and later, excuse me. And Hawkeye Elvis saw it with the help of a few people retweeting it, and he had sent me a tweet saying, "You pick a home game and you can be my guest sitting at the north end zone." So I'm like, what is life right now? I read that tweet like 4 times. So I'm like, what's going on? So I replied to it asking if the schedule is out, and he said yes. So coincidentally, I picked the Iowa State game, not knowing that it was September 10th, the day before my 27th birthday. So that was a great birthday gift, and I celebrated it the day before. And I love that game.
Did you say 21st birthday?
27th.
27th. Oh, okay. All
yes,
right.
27.
Okay.
And that was pretty cool sitting at the north end zone. I was literally on the field, but not on the field. I was right behind where all the media personnel were. So I was literally the second row behind the field of the north end zone. So that was pretty neat, getting to see everybody, getting to see during, I think, the fourth quarter, I think it was, getting to see the statue that they had out for the winner, and that was pretty neat. I was next to the only Iowa State man in my section, so I felt a little awkward cheering for the Hawkeyes next to him, but he was drunk, so it was okay because he was going for, I don't know, either team at this point. I was not sure because he was just sitting down enjoying the game while I stood up the entire time just screaming my head off.
There you
and
go.
then the second tweet I posted was along the same lines, and Spencer Petras saw it with the help of 1,000 something likes and about 60 retweets and about 50 replies or something like that. And he had personally messaged me saying that he could get me tickets to the bowl game that happened in Florida last year. And I told him I could not go because I didn't have a way. And he goes, see you next year. And I'm like, what? So then we started talking a little bit after several months went by or whatever. And he had messaged me saying, send me a few games you would like to go to and I'll see what I can do. So I sent him 3, the Illinois game and another game, and then the Michigan game and the Nevada game, and he picked the Nevada game. And that was pretty cool that he actually got me tickets because I was super stoked. I was counting down the days till the day got here. And then when it got here, it felt surreal. Like I didn't know what to do. I was like in shock, I guess, at the time. And so getting to live down my dream of going to a Hawkeye game, not for the first time, but for the second time, was incredible. Getting to be in Kinnick Stadium because it felt like I had belonged there. And with football being my favorite sport in the entire world, I loved it. It
So
was
how
really neat.
late did you stay, Jazzy?
Well, the first lightning delay took us home. Let's just say that.
I wanted to stay. That was the game that lasted forever, wasn't it?
Yeah. I wanted to stay because I wanted to meet Spencer. But the cool thing about this all was I sat next to Spencer's dad. And then not knowing it, I turned around, looked up I was staring all around the entire stadium. I looked up at the press box and whatever, and the people behind me, the guy, had asked me if I wanted a water, so he went and got me one. Well, he brought it back to me. We started communicating and whatever, cheering on the team. And, well, who was it behind me? It was Riley Moss's parents.
Cool.
So I was like, 2 for 1, I guess. And I'm
so I guess you're sitting in the family section for the football players.
Yes, I was. I'm like, meeting Spencer's dad was incredible. He was an absolute fantastic guy. He was super nice and everything. And then Riley Moss's parents were incredibly nice. His mom was going nuts behind me. And I'm like, I'll just join you and just start yelling too. So that's what I did. Just to feel like I was a part of the crowd, I suppose.
Speaking of being nice. Oops, sorry. Speaking of being nice, I've noticed like on a lot of your social media stuff, you talk about anti-bullying. That seems to be kind of a thing for you. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Okay. Well, I am a youth advocate for an organization located in Washington, Seattle, I believe it is. I've lost count all these years. I've been a part of the organization since 2014. And I pretty much just help people going through who are being bullied, help them get through it by just saying encouraging words or sending them something or just making their day just to try to get it off their head. And I myself was bullied since I was in not preschool, but in the elementary school. until I graduated. And one at the high school I went to, the old friend at the time, she started a rumor, and so that got around the school. And then it stopped once she graduated. Well, when I ended up on the news the first time, she had saw that I mentioned her, and she came forward and actually said that she was sorry about what had happened. And I accepted her apology, and now we're friends like nothing ever happened.
That's awesome.
That's
It's a great story.
cool. I just want to say that I did try to go to that website that you showed so I could print my sign and get my picture up there, but it would not download the sign for me.
Oh, really? I'll
Yeah.
have to send you the link again then, and
Okay.
see what we can do.
All right. Well, that sounds cool because I too was being bullied as a younger, and so I take a hard stand against it. So I appreciate people getting out there and standing in the front lines against it because there's just no need for it.
And I feel like our site on Facebook, the Iowa, the Facebook pages that we run,
Right.
that's definitely something that we monitor real heavily. Something that we don't really tolerate, the cyberbullying and things like that. And so, it's we're so glad to have somebody like you on who's an advocate against that type of behavior and bullying. And so
right.
You're awesome. So thank you.
Somewhere I have a sign, and I would like to find it this morning at show, but I can't remember where I put it.
While you're looking, we do want to introduce Jason because this is killing Jason just sitting here being quiet.
Coach Hack has arrived, everyone.
Yeah, that was the longest I've been silent in quite a while.
So, I know that we at some point do want to get to talking a little bit about Iowa football. And,
we do.
I do really want to go on a little brief rant here because I myself was a little bit guilty of this after the Michigan game, saying that, the Michigan offense, specifically their offensive line, kind of pushed around the defense. They kind of had their way. And, I just want to point out because, nobody really seems to be talking about this. This was an Iowa defense on Saturday, like against, a top 5 team. It's missing 40% of its starters, right? I mean, we were down Black. We were down Justin Jacobs. We're down Harris and Terry Roberts. That's really 4 starters off the defense. Off an 11-man defense. And so the fact that they held them to, let's call it 20 points when it really mattered. I mean, the defense really held them below half of their average. That kept the game within striking distance. So I just wanted to throw that out there. If at any point it seemed like I was being a little harsh or any of us were being a little harsh on the Iowa defense, I don't think it was warranted at this point upon further review.
I will say this on second thought. When you go back and look at it, we were really in that game more than we realized. It just felt like we were being totally dominated.
Right.
Well, I do think sorry, Hack. I do think Michigan was the better team, and certainly from a physical standpoint, they were winning, especially early on. Michigan did take the opening drive and literally march it right down the field. And so I do think because of that, they kind of had that feel for the rest of the game. But I think the defense actually played better as the game went on.
Right.
Well, what they did do is they just didn't give up points, right? They went down the field, but then after that opening touchdown, they pretty much just gave up field goals. But they could not stop Michigan between the 20s. Right? Michigan was dominating the time of possession, everything, because Iowa couldn't get off the field. And then Iowa's offense was, having penalties, drop passes, missed throws. Like, if you could think of anything to go wrong that first half for Iowa, it did, right? We got big runs that got called back on penalties. We got when Peaches threw a good ball, it got dropped. And then Peaches would throw a bad ball and, make the receivers go, So, I mean, if anything that could go wrong, I mean, it really did in the first half. But then towards the end of the third quarter, this is what I find funny in the Hawkeye fans, and I got a special video for them later. It was in the third quarter when Iowa started driving. They did not have their backups in the third quarter. Iowa scored to make it 20-7 at the very first play of the fourth quarter. That's how close to the end zone they were. And then they turn around, they got another drive. It ended up being a 4th and 2 with 8 minutes to go. If they pick up that 4th and 2, it would be 20-14. Michigan didn't have their backups in. Michigan was not playing prevent defense. That pass to, if you guys remember, to Lachey, that was right over the defender's hands and right into Lachey's pocket right here. That was not freaking prevent defense. I mean, they were covering the receivers the best they could. But the whole game, receivers were wide open, right? Spencer was 21 of 31, but you can think of drop passes, and you could think of some overthrows, right, that were wide open. So imagine if everything went perfect for Iowa, the offense would have had one heck of a day. If everything would have went good, if Spencer hit every open receiver that he had, that he recognized, right? There could have been open receivers he just didn't see, and he threw the ball. But he hit Laporta a couple times that Laporta dropped it. So, I mean, they could have been moving the ball even in the first half without that phantom clipping call and the roughing call, right?
I feel like Old Kirk would have kicked a field goal on 4th and 2 there and made it 20-10. Got it to and then the defense, hey, go get us a turnover, go get us a 3 and out, and
So Kirk was smart there because he knew that their possessions had been limited and their possessions in the red zone had been limited, and it's like, go get yourself a touchdown if you can, rather than a field goal, because what if we don't get back here again?
Well, that's not. But what Paul's saying is the old Kirk would have kicked a field goal.
Yeah, right.
He would have kept the game going because there was still 8 minutes to go.
Right.
There was still a lot of time left. So I mean, but then they went for it on. Then they made themselves go for it on 4th down when those 4 straight sacks. Was it 4 straight sacks?
Or pressure and completion sack combo. Yeah, it was.
Was there? Did he get a ball off? Because I just remember sacks. But
that's what led to Michigan's last touchdown.
yeah, because obviously you have to go for him 4th down there, right?
Yeah.
By the way, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I want to say after Michigan got up 20-0, they went like 4 out of 5 possessions, like 3 and out maybe. And so that's why, I mean, Old Kirk, like I said, he kicks the field goal there. You get to kick off. Maybe something happens on the kickoff. Maybe the defense comes up with a stop or a turnover. They were close once in the game to having that be the case. But, if something good happens, all of a sudden now, maybe it's 20-17 with 3 minutes left.
Right.
I don't know. I'm advocating that maybe we needed a little more Old Kirk on Saturday.
There we go. Mm-hmm. So why don't we put Michigan behind us? Let it go to bed, and let's talk about our opponents this week, Illinois. Our odds, our chances. The fact that for the first time in 9 years, we're not favored in this game.
Well, I don't think the odds are against them. I just think Illinois got better, right? It's at Illinois. They're favored because it's at Illinois.
Right.
Because you get 3 points for being home.
Mm-hmm.
So technically they're favored by a half a point.
Right.
So they're saying the score is going to be, 10-10, right? They don't think neither offense is going to score a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't remember what the over-under is, but the 3.5 is because it's at Illinois, right?
Right.
So they're saying that both teams are equal.
Do you still get 3 points for being the home team if you've got 20,000 seats available?
No, it's kind of hard to get a reading on this Illinois.
And gambling purposes, yeah.
Wow.
For gambling, that's what for gambling, it's always you get 3 points just for playing at home.
Oh, okay. So
unless you're Iowa, then you get 4 because Kinnick magic.
You should.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. No, but I was just going to say it's hard to get a read on this Illinois team just yet because how Wisconsin self-destructed and pretty much handed the game to Illinois. Illinois didn't beat Wisconsin as much as Wisconsin beat themselves. What do you guys think about that?
No, that's what I was trying to tell you. Like when we had this discussion, I was trying to tell you to watch the game because, boy, Wisconsin they just pooped the bed, right? They just they were winning most of the game, or first half anyway. I can't exactly remember where Illinois took the lead 13-10, and then Wisconsin fumbled the kickoff, right? And then Illinois got that and went in and scored. So it just all stumbled in that direction. But I can't remember if it was the first half or second half when Illinois took the lead 13-10. But it wasn't like what the score said it was. It was like Wisconsin's defense just stopped playing, right? It was kind of like the Big Ten championship for Iowa. It was 14-3 halfway through the third quarter, and then Padilla throws a pick, and then it was like, all right, guys, whatever. They gave up 28 points in the last quarter and a half with Padilla on the field. So that's kind of what Wisconsin did. Wisconsin did the same type of deal where after everything that was going wrong to when they lost the lead, Wisconsin was like, well, our offense ain't doing anything. Wisconsin had, 2 yards rushing? That Allen kid, that big dude, had 2 yards rushing for a Wisconsin team? Huh. I mean, that just tells you there's more than meets the eye on that.
Well, Illinois has a scary defense. It looks like they're number one in the Big Ten.
Well, I don't see that yet. We'll find out this weekend, right? Yeah. If they continue to stop Iowa, or does Iowa improve? Illinois hasn't played an offense yet. The best offense they played is Indiana.
What about Virginia? They've got a pretty good offense.
They haven't been doing well though.
Okay.
Virginia's been struggling. Hey, did you guys know Virginia recruited Cooper DeJean to be quarterback?
Really?
Did you guys know that? Yeah. I just found this out as Virginia was all over Cooper as well as Iowa, which is why he committed to Iowa to stop all the other offers. Virginia offered Cooper DeJean to play quarterback.
Well, that's a good thing.
Wow.
It's a good thing he came to Iowa because this is Jasmine's favorite player.
I have 3 favorite players. Petrus, obviously, for what he did.
Yeah.
Also Riley Moss and Cooper DeJean.
Cool.
But see, I've liked Cooper DeJean ever since the Rutgers game because I don't have TV. I just have antenna, so I don't ever get any of the games. I just go on Google and keep track that way.
Okay.
So, or I watch the video playback on Facebook or from somebody tweeting it and whatever.
Right.
And so during the Rutgers game, I became a fan of Cooper DeJean because of the 2 pick sixes he got. I'm like, wow, he took that ball home.
Did you see the replay of it then? Were you able to see?
Yes.
His running skills, his running skills with the ball in his hands they're really good.
I was before this interview, I was on Facebook cruising and I didn't know Cooper DeJean played basketball.
Oh yeah. I
had no idea.
Did you see my highlight tape I shared of Cooper playing basketball?
I don't know if it was you or it might have just popped up on my Facebook. It might have been you. But I was like making all those balls and I'm like, what's even going on? Where is he at? He was up and down that court like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah. He's a killer. But the thing is, he's a really nice kid, right? He has that switch. We're on the field and on the basketball court. He's a killer, man. He goes and gets it. He don't care who's in your way. And football feels the same way. He's a really nice dude, but then on the field, he's really not that nice on the court. And his brother's the same way, and I was recruiting his brother.
Really?
To play safety. His brother plays quarterback and everything for their high school as well.
I seen that. I saw that from KCCI, I think, maybe, or some post that popped up on my Facebook.
Right.
Also, I can't leave out Tory Taylor, number 9.
You just like his accent.
Heisman.
I do.
Or his good looks. His little good looks.
He is a good-looking kid, but he is also fantastic. Funny thing is I sat where I was at on the family game, the Nevada game. His brother actually sat the aisle over, but down one from where I sat, along with his mom and everybody else.
Oh wow! So they were all there.
I'm gonna assume it was his mom, or maybe it might have been his aunt or something. But I know his brother was there because he held the Australian flag up the entire game that rained.
That is awesome.
And I'm like, oh hey, there's Tory Taylor, and every time Tory Taylor kicked that ball, I screamed.
Well, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Since you were sitting in that game with all the family members, did you get a chance to get any pictures or autographs with the players of those family members after the game?
I got pictures with Riley Moss's parents, and that's it.
Okay.
That was it.
That's because of the dang lightning. The dang lightning, right?
I left.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I forgot.
Delay. The first lightning delay I left.
So you didn't stay for the whole game then?
Nope. Because Iowa City is like 3 hours away from me. So when we left at I think 10. But then we got stuck in Waterloo. My aunt and I got stuck in Waterloo for a couple hours, so we had to go take cover. And we didn't get home until 5 a.m. Sunday morning.
Wow, I bet you're tired.
Even
I went
not watching the whole game.
Nope. Wow. I went home. I went to bed for an hour, and I woke up like I felt refreshed.
Yeah. So where in Waterloo did you guys take cover
at? Some casino. My aunt went to some casino.
Okay. I know where that's at. There's only one casino in Waterloo.
Yeah, the truth comes out. We went to the casino.
Hey, I only played $20, but I lost it all. So my aunt played $100, so we were there for a while.
Yeah.
What was the other game?
What? My aunt?
What was the other game you went to? Did you say you got
Cy-Hawk game? Cy-Hawk.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay.
Cy-Hawk game was Hawkeye Elvis, and then the Nevada game was Spencer.
Right.
And while I was actually at the casino, after I was like, no more of this, I'm just going to watch the Iowa game. It was still on at 2:00 in the morning. So I was watching it on the TVs.
Right. Yeah, it was a long night for Paul. Paul stayed up.
I sure did.
I stayed up. Paul stayed up.
I stayed up.
Somebody fell asleep in his chair watching the game.
I
stayed up until the game got over. And then we went home. And then I was still on cloud 9 from Saturday night. And believe it or not, it's almost been a month. And I'm still on cloud 9. So, but since I didn't get to meet Spencer, I have an iPhone. His dad has an iPhone. So Spencer actually autographed me a picture.
Wow.
And I tell you what, so I posted that picture on Twitter. I did not tag anybody. I just posted it. Like 30 minutes after it was on Twitter, it already had 300 likes and like 15 retweets, I'm assuming. I'm like, guys, what's going on here? So anytime I post about Spencer, it just blows up.
Just think of all those Hawkeye fans that are following you now, you know?
Yep. I have like 600 followers.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I got like less than 100, so you're doing better than I am.
I only got like 385 or something, 400 maybe.
And I also, when I went to the Cy-Hawk game, I also met obviously Hawkeye Elvis, but I also met Icy Hawkeye, Ron, Anne. I met Valerie, David's mom, at the second game. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I'm not even going to try. It starts with an E is all I know. Who else did I meet? I met a couple other people I follow on Twitter. I'm like, okay, this is great. I was like in heaven. I'm like, I met some fellow Hawkeye fans. I got pictures with, I also met CJ. I don't know her. CJ something on Twitter. I met her also the second game. And she sat in the same section I did. So I'm like, except for she was like 5 rows up.
Cool.
Yeah.
You were in the best section. You were in the best section in the house.
Yeah.
Right.
I was. The second
She's walking
game,
in with Hawkeye Elvis, and everybody's wanting the pictures with her.
Right.
Not me. Nope. I didn't take no pictures.
I know.
Except for I only took a picture with Hawkeye Elvis. But I did take pictures with took pictures of the fans with Hawkeye Elvis with their phone. So I was pretty much the person taking the picture for them, or they were. And I was actually sitting in between, I want to say, the 30 and 40 yard line the second game. Okay. So I was 3 rows away from the field. I could actually literally see the players' names on the back of their jersey. That's how close I was.
That is awesome.
Yes, I saw.
You were the one causing all the false starts.
Right, that's what was going on.
You were causing all the false starts.
Yep, I'll take the blame.
That stadium.
But
is so
right, yes, it was loud. I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
I've never been in a stadium before, so that was the second time I've ever been in Kinnick. And talk about the wave, being there in person. Oh heavens, I was a wreck. I was a mess. I was like,
it touches your soul, doesn't it?
Yes. So I actually saw. So the year that it came all about, I actually saw when it started coming about. I'm like, just from one single person at one game waving to the hospital, and then it came about.
Yeah,
like, wow.
It's a pretty neat thing, and unfortunately, it made me like Michigan's quarterback because
yes.
he was all about the wave too.
Yes,
I was like, no,
it zoomed in on him, and I'm like, I just kept staring at the screen. I'm like, he was just waving, like all the other guys were waving too, but he was just into it.
Yeah. No,
he
said
into it.
Yeah, he said it was one of the coolest things he couldn't wait to do. Like,
and
he made a big deal out of it before he even, went and did it.
Right. And did you see the hospital actually got a care package for all the staff 2 days ago, I want to say, from Nevada.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That is
from Nevada.
That's nice.
So there was like shirts, bracelets, everything like that. They sent it to them. And I'm like, wow, such a rivalry team turning around for the good is what I thought. I'm like, wow. And then, so that hospital hits home for me because I used to go to the clinic next door, and just walking in through those doors of the hospital to turn left, there was like a piece of me was left at the hospital. I feel like feeling the warm welcome from everybody and stuff like that was just incredible.
You guys know I had when the wave first got going, I had a cousin who was part of the group of ladies that were pushing for the wave and, getting the T-shirts sold and things like that. She was on the ground floor of that. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool. The lady who even brought up the idea was from my hometown. She just put it on Hawkeye Heaven, right? That's what she wanted to happen. Mm-hmm. And then Hawkeye Heaven tried hijacking it like it was their idea.
Yes,
which is why I no longer follow Hawkeye Heaven.
Yeah, me neither. But it was it was started from an idea, and then people pushed it, and it's turned into a great thing.
Because I saw the original tweet or the post, and it said, "How cool would it be?" or something along these lines.
Yeah.
How cool would it be for all of Kinnick Stadium to turn around and wave to the kids?
Yeah, that's what it was. It was just an idea, somebody just thinking something up, and then all of a sudden, everybody.
All of a sudden, 70,000 people started the tradition. Yeah. And I guess from the word out of the mouths of college football on Fox, it's the best tradition in college football history.
I know. It's the only time that national networks will not leave Iowa at halftime, at the end of the first quarter until the wave is done.
And that's cool.
That's a really neat thing.
And also during the Cyhawk game, I was on TV 4 times.
What? That where the cameras were? Were you one of the ones leaning over the edge, pounding the?
No. I was behind everybody doing that. Yeah. So.
Okay, for me, it might start getting really noisy here. Coffee ladies are showing up, and they chose to sit at the table next to me.
You're okay.
So if it gets noisy, let me know, and I'll just mute myself and watch you guys the rest of the show.
So the camera that follows the field, that black camera that follows the field,
Yeah.
caught me 4 times. I did not know I was on TV until one of my followers said, "Hey, look, you're on TV." I said, I saw the post after the game. I didn't get into service in the stadium because 70,000 people were on their phone. So I didn't bother my phone. I just took pictures, videos, and whatever. I have like pictures and videos from both games. And I'm like, nuh-uh. And so I watched the video on YouTube, the highlights, and I'm like, hey, there I am again. Hey, there's me. And I'm like, hey, there's me again. I'm like, 4 times? Wow, it must have been popular that day.
So, all right, now, why don't we talk about how you feel about Illinois? What is your take on the Illinois team, and how do you feel we're going to do against them? What do you think some of our strengths and weaknesses?
Well, our weakness is our offense for sure. I will say this. As much as I love my own team, I will say our weakness is our offense. Our defense is pretty good. So if we can get our offense to turn the corner and become great, I think we may have a chance at putting up some good points.
Spencer's had 2 good games in a row.
Yeah, he has. Yes, he has.
Yeah.
But if we go the route we did the game against, can't remember, one of the teams, then we aren't going to put up any points. But if we have our head in the game and he throws some great balls and does some good picks and whatever, well, not picks, but drives and stuff like that, I think we have a chance. But in my gut feeling, I have a gut feeling deep down that Illinois is going to pull something and they're going to win. I have a gut feeling. That's just my gut. I'm like, I don't want it to be, but that's the gut. But I'm going with the first thing I said. If offense puts up some good points, then we have a chance.
Well, I hope my karma is better than your karma. I got Iowa winning. So one of us. I hope my karma beats your karma.
Yes, I hope it does too. I hope your karma does.
Paul, your take on the Illinois game?
So, I think the magic number for Iowa in any game is 10, right? Anytime we can, if Iowa can either get up 10 or gets down 10, the game might be over. But so if Iowa can find a way to start fast and jump out to a 10-point lead or fairly early in the game, then they have a chance to melt the game away. And you can melt the game away while melting super amazing waxes in your home. These waxes will make your home smell fantastic. This one is iridescent pearl. It is a blue. So just like Illinois blue, we are going to melt the game away.
There you go.
Visit
Jason
Terry's Scentsy page.
Okay.
Yeah, you should really get a contract for making commercials for Terry.
Yes, Paul, you should.
Yeah, I get to watch the game in a motel room in Waterloo on Saturday night.
Unfortunately, I don't get to watch the game. I get to keep track of the score from Google.
You can come to Waterloo. You can come to Waterloo and watch it with me at the hotel room.
Dean, of all the fun things you can do in a motel room, you're going to choose to watch football, huh?
What's that?
Yep.
I said, of all the fun things you can do in a hotel room, you're going to choose to watch football, huh?
Well, my wife won't be with me on this trip, so it's football.
Iowa's offense will be better, though. They're getting better every week. I'm rolling with it. If it doesn't happen this week, then I'm going to be on the 7-5, 6-6 train.
I think the defense scores for us, too, and that helps. Anytime the defense can score, at least get us some turnovers, a couple of picks.
Right.
A couple of block punts in the end zone.
Don't discount, sometimes playing on the road can be helpful to a defense, and our defense is already pretty good, but being, the crowd being quiet for the opposing team's offense also means that the crowd is quiet for our defense and our ability to communicate and make sure that we're gap sound and things like that pre-snap. So, yeah, I look for the defense to come up with a big play or two. Like I said, if we can get a fairly early score out of the offense, even a field goal, if the defense can come up with a play and get us a score, I think 10 points is enough for this team to win.
We could just play some field position against Illinois, unlike we were not able to do against Michigan.
Right.
It's just got to keep Illinois deep in their own territory.
That's the difference between Illinois and Michigan is the offensive line, right?
Right.
I think the Michigan game they couldn't because they just could not stop the running game. Period. Right? I mean, they didn't bust off any long runs, but they were getting 4 yards on a pop. Right.
They just methodically were workhorsing themselves.
Oh yeah, they did not go for the big play. They just took what Iowa gave them. I mean, which is the blueprint to beat Iowa's defense. That's a big part of what Purdue does. They just take what Iowa gives you. If you're that patient, it's going to work. But a lot of coaches aren't that patient to do that. Michigan just did perfectly, but they have the horses to do so. Yeah. I think Iowa's defensive line will shut down Illinois' run game. This is not the Michigan offensive line. So even though they run up the middle, just like Michigan, right? They run right in the A gap. Like they'll just keep slowly just beating on you. But I don't think they have the horses to do that. They have the running back to do that. If Brown sees a hole, he'll go, right? So they have the funny part about that, both running backs are exactly the same. Corum and Brown, these little guys, these little Fred Russells. If you guys remember Fred Russell, well, I know, yeah, you know what I mean. I didn't mean to.
My concern for the game is actually the Illinois defensive front. They've got like a nose tackle who's I think like 340 pounds or 360 pounds. He's a sumo wrestler. I don't know, but he's a beast of a man. He holds down the point of attack really well against the run. Iowa is. I think if we're going to find success running the football, it's going to have to be on the edges because I don't think we're going to be able to get a lot of push up the middle.
Just like the Michigan game, they had a big hog molly right in the middle of the line as well, and Iowa was getting yards outside, right? I mean, it's going to be the same type of deal. But you're right. I don't think they're going to be able to run up the middle. I hope they don't even try it unless it's out of the shotgun. You could do it out of the shotgun and on like 3rd and 5 type of situation like they did last week with Williams. LaShawn did great. That's why LaShawn averaged, like, what did he average? 4.5 yards a carry. And it's because when he would get those runs, it was out of the shotgun. Like Iowa was running the ball well out of the shotgun last week. Why they didn't do it more is beyond me. Because that was the only running game that really worked. It was running with Michigan spread out. Because they had that big hog molly right there in the middle. But, I mean, this game is a lot of the same style as Michigan's with the exception of the talent. Right? I mean, Michigan's got a good offensive line, but I don't think Graves played enough, and I don't think Van Ness played enough. I mean, I don't know why you would play the older kids if they're getting dominated like that. I mean, the whole game. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me because it's a defensive line position. That's not a tough position. You don't have 1,000 plays where you got to think of what you're doing. You just have to know what gap. You got to know if you're slanting. Is it straight, power rushing? You don't have a whole lot to learn as a defensive tackle in the inside. So, I mean, I don't know why Van Ness and Graves didn't get more chances to stop the run.
So, you probably saw this, Jason, on Chad Lassicle's last text about his Iowa-Illinois preview. He makes this comment he goes, thank you guys. We're all on the same page. We need more throwing on first down, more jet sweep action, more creativity is our game plan. And I wrote back, I go, that might be our game plan, but is it Iowa's game plan?
I mean, they do run the fly sweep. You can't just run the jet sweep all the time.
I know it.
But they do a lot of fake action with the sweep. If you notice, Bruce is constantly coming around. They're faking it to him. I mean, I would agree he probably should have 3 or 4 carries a game out of the jet sweep. There's no use in faking it if you don't give it to him once in a while. right?
Also, that's just a wasted play for Bruce. I mean, into the sense that we're going to fake him. He's not getting the ball after. So now we've and don't get me wrong, you've got to do this to keep defenses honest and there's show the threat of doing certain things, but you've effectively taken Arlen Bruce out of the play when you've done that
by not giving him the ball,
right?
Just faking it to him all the time.
Honestly, let's get a little creative. Let's do something to put the ball in Arlen Bruce's hand and let him pass it, because he's capable of it. He's very capable of it. He's all-state quarterback in Kansas.
Yeah, he's 5'4". I mean, I don't know. You don't want to.
Arlen Bruce is 5, not 5'4". He's not
5'5". What is he? 5'6", 5'5"?
Probably
5'9",
5'11".
Oh, he's not that big.
You don't think he's that tall?
No. But anyway.
So when I was doing like on my teams, I researched the players, like where they come from, just to see, gives me an idea of where our team is all from, like what states. Well, Spencer is from my home state, California. And I did not know he was actually 6 foot. What is it? I don't want to be wrong, but like somewhere in between 6'4" and 6'7", somewhere in there. I'm like, he's tall.
He's 6'5".
Iowa like
6'5",
like 220, 221 or something like that. Arlen Bruce is 5'8".
Yeah, okay. Iowa officially lists him at 5'10", but that might be in cleats on a box.
So he's listed at 5'10" officially.
So
he's listening.
I just saw 5'8", but that wasn't an Iowa roster spot. So the roster says he's 5'10".
Okay.
5'10", 198.
I'm 5'5", so
5'6".
I could not see myself playing football in the Big Ten.
You're right up there with Bruce.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, my brother's 5'9", 5'10", I think, and I'm 5'6", and my mom's 5'2".
Wow.
And my dad's 6 foot.
I was going to say your dad's got to be taller. Your mom's that short.
We have in my mom's side, they have the short end of the stick. My dad's side, they have the tall end, except for his mom. His mom was 5'2", so she was small. She was short, I should say. She was short.
Right. I mean, I would love to see any trick plays, right? As long as they can throw the ball. Because remember, against USC, man, ISM threw a great ball to Smith that just happened to be right in the back of the end zone. Remember that? Do you guys remember that against USC when ISM, but Brandon Smith was, the ball was just a little bit too deep for the back of the end zone, but it was a great throw. Tight spiral, that ball got there in a hurry. But so, I mean, I would love to see anything that would show signs of trying something, right?
Right.
Well, I think before you can get to the trick plays, the exotics, things like that, you have to really show that you can execute the bread and butter stuff. No, I mean this. Like, I'm not trying to be funny, but I mean,
I know what you're saying.
Because you've got to get the defense off balance, right? And so, I mean, if you're able to hit the stretch routinely, and now all of a sudden you've got their defense slanting and guys over pursuing, to now all of a sudden you can hit that reverse, you can hit the jet sweep, the counter actions, things like that. But right now the defenses are able to play us straight up, so it's really hard to call and execute something trickery when you're not executing the bread and butter.
Interesting.
By the way, Paul, you're showing your age in this age group because exotic is a Hayden Fry term.
Right. Absolutely.
Yep.
And he loved the trick play.
He loved exotics.
Every time but he also loved to run his fullback.
Yeah.
People always talk about like Iowa running their fullback now, but Hayden ran it a lot more.
But yeah. Guys like David Hudson were it was more like a two-back set back then than it was a true, Monty Pottebaum is a different looking kind of guy than David Hudson.
Well, yeah, but you got Lou Montgomery, you got all kinds of them where he would give it to him. They still ran the I formation with them in the fullback. They just gave him the ball, right?
Right.
But I don't know how many times they fumbled though. Pottebaum fumbled once, and he hasn't gotten the ball since, other than the pass.
Right.
He caught a pass this week.
Yeah.
A big one, a long one.
Pretty good one.
That's good.
I think it was like 28 yards or something like that. Or
Wow.
Yeah.
No one covered him. I mean, if Spencer can hit those wide open guys, he had Breck out there wide open too. Breck was standing there. He ran an out route. Nobody around him going. And the ball went. But anyway, I think it's going to be a great game.
If we're talking about a guy who we could run some type of, wide receiver pass with, you would think Brody Brecht, and he would be a good candidate to throw the football, right? I mean, is there a huge difference in skill from throwing a baseball and throwing a football? Well, he has the arm. How about that?
Right. I mean, there is.
Yeah.
There is. It's because he's a baseball. I mean, it probably fits into the palm of his hand, right? Or his fingers. The ball is so small that his fingers are probably, just barely on the ball, right? I mean, he probably could do. I mean, it just depends on. There's so much more. Because if you think about it, John Elway did both. You can go through guys and find guys who played quarterback at a high level who was also pitchers, right? I mean, John Elway was going to be drafted by the Yankees or the Colts, right? Before he said, I'm not going to the Colts. I'm going to go play for the Yankees. So that's a big part of why he was able to get to the Broncos, is because he had the Yankees wanting him. So he's like, I'm not playing for the Colts, so I'll just go play for the Yankees. But, I mean, it is a different skill set in the brain, everything. You got to have football instincts, just like your baseball instincts.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be able to throw the
baseball.
ball. He just has a cannon. He just has to know where he's throwing it a lot of times.
All right, guys,
Baseballs.
it's time to do our picks.
We're doing picks. And our picks are brought to you this week by Terry Sensi. So check out the link there at tarek.sensi.us. And then, follow us for all of our amazing picks this week.
Okay. All right. Why don't each of you, I got Iowa over Illinois 24-16. Jason's already said you got him winning, but you got a score.
I was like 17-14 Iowa. Something like that. That's just offensive points.
Okay. Paul.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Hawks 17-7. We get up 10 points early, and then it's a very boring third and fourth quarter of Iowa not trying to win the football game.
All right. Miss Jazzy.
I'm going for Iowa, but
she already said Illinois.
yeah,
So we're gonna let her change her mind.
Yes.
I'm going for Iowa. Let's see. 10's obviously their magic number, apparently. So I'm going to go 10-7 Iowa.
Love it. Go Hawks.
All right.
We're not homers or anything.
Okay. All right. Homers. Yeah.
No homerism here.
All right. I picked up 15 games this week. I couldn't narrow it down, so I ended up with 8. The first one I got is Nebraska at Rutgers. Who do you guys got?
Rutgers is going to win.
I mean,
I don't like Nebraska. I don't like Nebraska.
Yeah. I'm going to go
Those
with Rutgers
Cornhuskers.
until I see Nebraska play like another game. If they can do what they did last week, but right now I think Rutgers is good.
Yep.
If the game was in Lincoln, I'd take Nebraska, but it's in Piscataway, and I love saying Piscataway, and I'm going to take Rutgers in Piscataway.
It's
I've
good.
got Rutgers as well.
Every time you say Piscataway, I think of Phil.
Yeah, that's the wrong town. Okay.
Right.
Purdue at Maryland. This is an interesting game.
Who?
Purdue at Maryland. This could be a high score game.
I got Maryland.
I want to know if Hayden O'Connell is playing.
He is.
Hayden O'Connell.
Is he playing?
He's playing.
If O'Connell's playing, I like Purdue close. But if something happens there and he either doesn't play or gets hurt, then obviously it's a Maryland. I guess I'll just go with Maryland. Why not?
I'm going for Maryland.
I mean, Iowa needs Iowa needs a Maryland win, so let's all pull hard. Let's all be turtles this weekend.
Okay, I'm gonna go different on this one and go Purdue on this one.
You pick Purdue every week.
Yeah, if Purdue wins, we blame you, Dean.
You guys all pick Maryland. I want to be different. Okay, I had Maryland originally, though.
He wants to fall down below you and make me at the very
right. Yeah. You see, I'm always waiting to see who Jason picks this week.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm coattailing it the whole way.
Okay. Can Wisconsin recover against Northwestern this week? Wisconsin at Northwestern.
I mean,
Ooh.
They will. I mean, it's going to be. I mean, it's a bad. Northwestern is just terrible, right? Mm-hmm. They hung with Penn State, but I think a lot of that was on Penn State, right? I got to see Northwestern play better, more than just against Penn State. I think Wisconsin rebounds.
Okay. Oh.
Well, I have the choice of Pat Fitzgerald coaching his 200th game at Northwestern, or a guy coaching his first game at Wisconsin. I'll take stability. Give me Northwestern in this. Close.
I'm also taking Northwestern. Jazzy.
What was the other team? It was Northwestern and who?
Wisconsin. At Northwestern.
I'm gonna have to go for Wisconsin.
Okay. Nebraska at Indiana.
Who?
Wait a minute. That game's already been played, hasn't it?
Yeah, that was last week.
Okay, never mind. I got my picks wrong. Okay. All right. Now, this one's going to be a little stretch for you guys. Kansas State at Iowa State.
Ouch.
That's who Iowa State plays this week?
Yeah.
Oh, I got K-State. They're in trouble. Yikes.
I have K-State too. As much as I go for Iowa State too, but I have a feeling K-State's going to win.
Give me the fighting Adrian Martinez's.
Yeah, for real. They want that Louisiana game back. K-State is on a roll.
Okay. I'm going to be different. I'm picking Iowa State. This is a pick for my brother-in-law, and I was supposed to wear an Iowa State shirt today, but like my head said, I forgot them at the house. But he gave me a shirt and told me to wear it today because I lost the bet.
Yeah, don't be hexing the game. You do not wear another team's shirt on Friday. You do that on Monday. You do that on Monday.
I'll be surprised if Iowa State ends up taking the lead.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, now this is kind of like new for all of us here. Utah at UCLA. Both are ranked teams.
Yeah. I got Utah.
I'm going Utah because I don't like any California team. I'm just saying that.
UCLA plays in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
And the Hawkeyes love the Roses. Give me the home team. Give me UCLA.
Okay.
I'm about to have a huge lead this week.
I also picked Utah, by the way.
Oh, never mind.
Okay. TCU at Kansas.
Oh, God.
UC what?
TCU at Kansas.
Oh, TCU.
I love Kansas. Gosh, I'm on the Kansas train, but they are so fun to watch. But watching TCU, TCU has been really good as well. They're undefeated, right? I think both sides
yes.
Yeah.
They still have Max Duggan.
Yeah, he's the one. He had like 200 yards rushing last week.
Wow.
The starting quarterback got hurt. Duggan came in, and TCU has just been on fire. I'm gonna go TCU.
I'm going for TCU. I'm pulling for TCU.
Everybody's got TCU then.
Yeah. Okay. Give me Jim Duggan.
Okay. Final game. Tennessee at LSU.
Oh, Tennessee. For me. I love Tennessee. Their offense is awesome. Not because I run a version of it, but I just love Tennessee's offense.
I haven't really watched any Tennessee games, so I can't say the same.
Okay.
I
Pick
mean,
your
I
favorite color.
what?
Pick the favorite color. Tennessee's orange.
Or yellow.
LSU is purple and yellow.
Well, purple is my favorite color, but
Whoa.
I mean, I like orange too. So it's a pull.
Okay.
So I'm going for Tennessee. So
I think Tennessee is the better team, but wait a minute. Do we know, is this a night game at LSU? That matters. Do we know when this game is? I made this mistake with another game. I won't do it twice.
I don't know the time.
Jason's looking
I'll get it for you. I'll get it for you in 1 second.
Because it does matter. A night game at LSU, that
Yeah, it does.
Is that like a night game at Kinnick?
absolutely.
Oh, no, it's an 11 a.m. game.
Okay, give me Tennessee. Remember the Titans.
Okay. All right. Everybody's got Tennessee. Okay. That's our picks, guys. I'll let you know on Monday how we did.
Hey,
Yeah.
So I found the signs, Dean. I found them. They were right where I put them. So the first one, it's backwards, but you can kind of see it. Oh wait, it's not backwards.
It's not backwards at all.
So
Perfect.
this is their red one. They have they have two, and then their website's at the bottom. So
Yeah.
I promote these too. So I promote both the signs. And then this is my favorite one.
The Pride one.
Yes.
What is that? Free2love.org. Okay.
Free the number 2 love luv.org.
I will get my sign printed and my picture uploaded.
Yeah. And guys, you know, bullying stinks, but what doesn't stink are Terry Sensei's wax bars. So, you know, don't put up with bullying. Don't let your house stink. Get you some Terry's wax bars today.
All right,
And
guys.
If
This
you
was a
have,
great show.
I also have a Facebook page. I will send all 3 of you to that I promote Free to Live on.
Okay,
Oh,
sounds
okay.
good. All right. Okay, guys, don't forget to share this with all your friends and just encourage them to hit the subscribe button.
Absolutely.
Okay. My friends aren't saying anymore whether they want me to or anymore, so they keep getting it until they tell me not to send it to them anymore.
Right. Right.
But the
Exactly.
scenery definitely improved this week. I don't know what happened, but
What's that?
the scenery definitely improved this week. I don't know what changed, but you know.
I think it's just me sitting at high V.
Oh, that's what it is. Yes, it's the high view, the background. Yeah.
All right.
Interesting.
We all know
That's a
what
big
you meant,
TV behind you.
Paul. We all know what you meant, Paul. All right. We'll get out of here, guys. It's great. It was a great show. See you guys again on Monday.
See ya.
Go Hawks,
Bye,
everybody.
Terry.
Bye, Terry.
Jesse.
Bye, Jazzy.